Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Hermitcraft. Today we are at the coral reef and we are mining up some bubble coral blocks in the hopes of using these in our enchanted forest area as sort of the dead leaf block of choice, because these look a lot like dead leaves, and so we need a bunch of them if we want to make an impact on our canyon project. So as I'm mining these, this is actually kind of a bit of a conundrum here, because this is actually in direct opposition to what myself and Joe Hills will be participating in on November 7th. If you don't know, Joe and I are doing a live stream in association with Love Tropics to help support Osa Conservation, which actually helps to preserve mangrove forests on the coast of Costa Rica, the Osa Peninsula of Costa Rica. So yeah, in support of that, we're actually going to be building a couple of things today to get blocks for that, and also to basically store things for that in an area where we need it. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So let me finish up digging out some coral here, and we'll head over to spawn area actually, where we're going to make our first build. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're now at the spawn of the Hermitcraft Season 8 world. This is sort of the heart of the main island. Got this giant egg built by Joe, and I believe Pearlescent Moon built this. And right next to that, there's the spawned village. This is the village we started the season at. And directly outside of this village is where we're actually going to have our charity event. So you can see here, future home of November 2021, Love Tropics, Fancy Swamp. And then we got some items needed. I think Joe has started to gather some. I brought some myself as well. And also some stuff to build a little structure here that'll help us go down to the swamp and back up quickly. And also, have a place to store stuff properly. So if you want to get involved in this and join us in our charity stream, the stream will be happening on Saturday, November 6th at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. It's Eastern U.S. time. On Twitch, so twitch.tv/cubfan135, and if you donate, you get your name on a bamboo or a tree or a custom tree or an iron golem, and there's a bunch of other incentives if you donate here at the Hermitcraft World Spawn. So highly recommend you check that out. But for now, we're going to plop down some of these shulker boxes here, and I think we're going to make some of this out of calcite and polished andesite. I think those are the two primary building blocks we're going to make, and we're just going to make like a little sort of like platform here that overlooks the swamp, so we have a nice vantage point for the charity event that Joe and I will be hosting this Saturday. So I hope to see you guys there, and let's build this little area to hold some items. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so we got a little area now created for this Love Tropics event. So we went with some calcite on the floor, we got some andesite around the sides, and the walls are made up of a combination of deep slate, tile deep slate, and some gray glass panes. Didn't put a roof on this because we want it to be sort of open air, so that way, if we're out here putting down some stuff and building some trees and things like that, then we can easily just, boost on back here and fly on in the top like this, pick up some supplies, and then head off. And speaking of supplies, we labeled everything around here, so we got saplings, signs, glow ink, bone meal, bamboo, nether fungi, and nylium. We got some weeping vines, some spore blossoms, some iron blocks, some jack-o'-lanterns, some wood, moss blocks, sea pickles, and other blocks for things like custom trees. Of course, we got a bed as well. So I think this is pretty much all we need. We also got like a staircase down, so we can just walk up and down if we need to, and same on this side. So should give us good access to the swamp biome over here. But one thing I've noticed, we need a couple things. First of all, we need some sea pickles, which luckily we have a sea pickle farm, so that's not a problem. And the second thing we need is some nylium and nether fungi, which we don't have too much of right here. So I think what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make a farm in the canyon for some crimson fungus and some warped fungus, as well as some nylium. But I want to do it in a cool way that I haven't done before, so let's head back to the canyon, and let's find a spot to put a nether fungi and nylium farm. Alright, ladies and gents, welcome back to the canyon area. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to find a spot for this nylium and nether fungi farm. So let's just jump across our parkour, or just fail totally. Wow. Let's try this again. That was just god-awful. Man. There we go. That's more like it. That's more like it. Okay. So, right, let's take a look at a spot for this farm. I'm thinking probably, since we have, quite a distribution of caverns now, each of these banners, by the way, is a new cavern. So, for instance, the flower farm we made last time right there. So, I think we either want to put it in this branch of the canyon or this branch of the canyon, because those are the only two branches that don't have anything in them yet. Of these two, I'm thinking probably this one down here, because there's quite a few spots here, here, there, that we could put this, and yeah, I think it would work nicely. Let's try this spot here. This spot here looks like it's pretty nice. It's sort of like on the main line through. And let's go check that thing out. By the way, you might notice some change here to the forest. The forest here is significantly less dense because we went through and chopped down a bunch of it. So as we fly over here, you'll see we got, yeah, significantly less forest because I wanted the forest to be a little bit thinner for the Enchanted Desert build that we'll be doing soon. So that's why there's not as many trees as there were before. Still some, but not as many. So basically this canyon down here is where we're headed. So let's see what we got. So down here, yeah, this one right here, I think this could potentially work. This has a nice little like natural like entrance area here, I guess, kind of. So we just dig in the wall there, that would work nicely. Let's check the one down here as well though, in the far side of the canyon. I think it's down this left path. So here would be another chance for it. And I think down here would also work. This one's a little bit steeper, I guess. Of these, though, I think the other one is better. Just because this is a little bit harder to dig into and actually get underground. And we may also run into problems with the ceiling here with the orange concrete powder and the red sand. So, yeah, I think that is the key. I don't think we'll go with the other one down here in this section of the canyon. So let's just swoop on down here. I think there's also another sign there would also work. But I still like this one down here. Yeah, let's go with this one. So we will dig in right here. Get rid of this sign. So let me dig out an area here for our Nylium and Nether Fungi Farm. Ladies and gentlemen, underneath of this beacon right here, we have ourselves a new cavern. Let's go in and take a look. Avoiding the pointed dripstone on the way down. Here we go. Yeah, so right along this main path here, for us, we have this little thing dug out here. Decided to take it down a couple blocks just so we got a little bit of extra room to dig out this cavern. It sort of drifts to the left here and eventually comes to this point. So here is the cavern we have dug out. And in contrast to sort of the other room we made recently, the flower farm room, this one is going to be sort of designed exactly opposite of what that one was. So the flower farm, we actually like had a block in mind. We wanted like a pink glazed terracotta block for the floor, and then we designed the room around that and put in the redstone based around the aesthetics. This room, we're going to base the room around the redstone, and we're going to build the redstone first and design the aesthetics around the redstone. At least that's the plan. So what I want here is when I walk in from, outside the canyon, we walk in here, I want to have a farm on this side. This will be like the warped fungi farm. On the right, we'll have the crimson fungi farm. And then straight ahead, we want to have the Nylium farm, which is going to be the more complex of the farms. And require the most redstone, I should say. So that's sort of the layout I want to go for here. The Nylium farm, or the fungi farm is actually pretty easy. That's just going to be like this. So we're just going to basically bone meal the Nylium, and then yeah, the roots or the if we hit it and have another one here and get lucky. Nope. Maybe a couple more and get lucky. Nope. Still unlucky. Unlucky. So we're gonna have to do this a lot, it seems. But basically, yeah, eventually you'll get a mushroom like this. We actually got a crimson one here, which is somewhat rare, so that's cool. But basically, we'll have this happening, and then yeah, we'll have water basically wash away the roots and the fungus as well into a central collection point. This will be similar to what we made in Season 7 in the pyramid. So I'm going to use the same design here. My own design, actually. For the Nylium farm, we're going to use my own design as well. And I'd like it to sort of be a little bit artistic, I guess, when it makes the Nylium. So to make Nylium, if you don't know, you place one block of Nylium like so, and then we place netherrack here, and then if you bone meal the netherrack, the Nylium spreads. So that's how you make Nylium. And I'm thinking it could be cool, like, if we had it sort of like snake around all the way to the front, like if we had like a bunch of netherrack like this, right? And if it sort of like went out like this, right? And then like once it got to the end here, let's say this is the end. If it went this way, came down here, and then started to snake back this way, and I'm actually out of bone meal here, but you can sort of imagine like if it kept going this way, and then snake back this way, like this, and then snake this way, except on a bigger scale. And I think it could also be cool if we had the Nylium sort of just like appear out of nowhere. So like if we had, let's say a Nylium here, and this was netherrack, if we bone meal this, then the Nylium will actually show up here, I believe. Let's just actually check that. Let's do like this. We could sort of hide this in the back there if that's the case. I think that is the case. Let me just double check that real quick. Okay, so we picked up some bone meal, and let's try this thing out now. So we put down a netherrack here. Our Nylium's in the back here, and if I bone meal this, yes, the Nylium spreads just like that, sort of through the wall, although it's still technically within like one block here, so that makes sense. And then we'll basically, you know, have it spread in a snake pattern from here. So we'll have dispensers underneath here with bone meal that will basically do this, then have it come down like this, go over like so, and then over here, and then continue all the way to the front over here. So that should be really cool. So that's the plan for this room. Hopefully you like it, and let's go ahead and get started with the redstone. So we now have our first two farms almost complete, so let me show you what they do and how they work, in case you haven't seen these before. So this first one here is a warped root and also a warped fungus farm. So you can see here we got the results of the farm going to be in this barrel right here. So basically the way it works, we put in bone meal here to this chest, and this basically filters down into this dispenser here, facing upward. Then we have a block on top of here, and so whenever this block gets hit, this block and the blocks around it have a chance of spawning in the warped roots and the warped fungus. Then this lever here, this actually controls a clock down here. And to make a long story short, this clock works in conjunction with another clock to make things happen in sequence. And the farm then works because bone meal. So that's it. Let's see how it works. Alright, so let's run this one here for a minute. So we put in some bone meal here. Let's make sure we just got only bone meal in there. Yep, very good. Alright, and we need, let's see, we need some water buckets. So we need 2 water buckets. So let's go and grab those real quick. From, let's see, where's the nearest water actually? Probably over in the ocean. It's probably the nearest water. Here we go. 1, 2. We're off. Head on back over here. Swoop on in. Okay, and let's put this in here. 1, 2. Alright, and everything else should be working. All the redstone's secure, I think. No holes, so let's turn it on. There we go. So stuff grows. Swept away. And we should see, yep, some warp roots coming in. See if we see a fungus. Yep, there's a fungus right there. Let's see if it makes it in. Some more warped roots coming in. There we go. And there's our fungus. Yep, very good. Should see some more filtering in as more stuff comes over. There's a crimson fungus. Very good. There's another warped fungus coming in just a second. There it is. Yep, very good. Okay. So that thing is working. That thing is working. And then to turn it off, you just, you know, wait till the water goes away and then flick this lever. And then it turns it off. So, perfect. That is absolutely fantastic. You will see there is one root that didn't make it. So we need to put like glass over this to prevent that from items from popping out when it's washed away by the water. But other than that, this one is done. And yeah, then we just have to basically fill in the stone here. And yeah, this one will also be done. So we can test this guy out as well and make sure this is all working properly and stuff. But yeah, that is the entirety of the fungus farms. So then we'll move on to the Nylium farms. Alright, I'm hoping I can buy some bone blocks because we're going to need a bunch of bone meal to run this farm here. Let's see if Grian has some here at the G train. In stock. We bought him out last time. Has he restocked? He has. Alright, 1 diamond per slot. And that is 16 slots? Yep, 16 diamonds. Not a problem for us. So, come here. There we go. Split that up. 16. There we go. Bada bang. And we take all these. So let's grab a empty shulker box. Put this one out there. There we go. And we're going to nab all these bone blocks. Thank you so very much, Grian. Much appreciated, my guy. And Mr. Impulse, right here. Hang on. Let's get this song going. There we go. Beautiful. 1 diamond per stack for bone blocks. And there's 27 stacks of bone blocks here, so don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. Where's my box? There it is. Okay, 27 diamonds. So we need 10 more from here. There we go, 27. We'll stack these there. All right. And we will buy out all of these. Beautiful. You love to see it. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Cub, why in the world did you just buy 40 stacks of bone blocks? Well, the answer is this thing. We got ourselves a Nylium Farm, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. So, this Nylium Farm has 130 dispensers that are activated when the farm is active. And this helps us to create Nylium. So, the purpose of this farm is to create Nylium without actually any foliage, because we already have the foliage sort of covered over here with the roots and the fungus, and same thing with this one over here, except more heavily toward the warped. So yeah, this is meant to make Nylium only, basically. So the way it works is pretty straightforward. We got a smart piston here. This is where we put our netherrack, right in here. So netherrack goes down here, just like this, and then once it gets to the very end here, you see this is sort of being pushed out. Once it gets to the very end like that, it gets pushed out by this row of pistons, because there's a smart piston down here, which activates all of these and pushes the entire row out. This is kind of similar to what we did at the rooted dirt farm. And then we just do the same thing here again. So just place down some blocks, and yeah, this just pushes it out like so. So that's that part of it. And then the dispensers actually all activate in sequence. So they start at this dispenser over here. And you see we got some bone meal in all these here. They start right here, and then it goes down this way, comes back this way, comes back this way, and sort of snakes around. And this is going to be sort of like an animation that I've made here that, yeah, basically activates all the dispensers in sequence, because why the heck not? And if we get down below, you can see this is the activation bit right here, this lever, and this basically bone meals the netherrack and turns it into the Nylium. And so basically we have a huge array of repeaters, and this basically activates in the same way. So it goes down here, comes back, goes back down, and yeah, just basically snakes from one side to the other like this, and that's how we get the animation here. Yeah, you'll also notice there is some other redstone here. This redstone actually is what swaps the Nylium types. So we can create either crimson or warp Nylium, because we have a block swapper back here. And so effectively, whenever, you know, all this netherrack gets pushed over, we have a situation like this with a netherrack. And then basically if we have a bone meal, this one gets bone mealed first. This dispenser down below activates its bone meal first. So it'll grow up the crimson Nylium in this case, since the crimson is in this spot. And then it, you know, the next one then fires, which grows this up, and then the next one, which grows in this spot, etc. And then if we decide we want warped, all we got to do is simply flick this lever over here. And now you see the crimson and the warped Nylium swap places. So now if we bone meal this one first, it now grows the warped Nylium, and then it continues in the same sequence from there. So it just grows out, and then it comes back this way and snakes all the way through. So let's go ahead and show how this works. Let's just go ahead and do this, and we'll get this all going here. So let's just keep on growing this up. Let's get rid of these torches here. We'll have to add some lighting above here, because it is a little bit dark in the center of the farm, but that's fine. So yeah, let's just keep on placing down some netherrack here. One interesting thing about this is that if you use grass here instead of netherrack, you can actually use this as a tall grass farm and a small flower farm. That is a one tall flower farm. So this sort of is like a 2-in-1 farm in a way. Some other things about the farm. The nether wart blocks you see here, these are actually just to, like when we harvest the Nylium, to prevent us from breaking blocks on the side, because it takes a while to break these with the pickaxe, as you can see. So that's what those are for. And let's just fill this thing in, all the way in. It takes over 100 netherrack to fill this whole thing in, 130 netherrack or so. And we're out of it, so let's grab some from here. Just keep filling. See, it's almost all the way over now. So almost there. And there we go. Okay, so once this fills up, you know you're done. And yeah, these pistons all extend. So yeah, this thing is totally filled with netherrack now. And now if we flick this lever, this actually works if you flick it up or down. We should see it all snake. So let's make some crimson Nylium instead. There we go. So it's swapped. And go. Yeah, baby, let's go. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Nylium Farm. Magnificent. Okay, and then we just go through, grab this, and then just like dig it out like so. Blast on through this. Just like this. Gather up all the Nylium. Shouldn't take too terribly long. There we go. And that's it. There we have it. And of course, this will all be like behind a wall and stuff back here. Like we'll build this up like this or something. So that it's not visible back there. But yeah, that is the entire farm, ladies and gentlemen. So there we go. 130 Nylium right there just created. We should also mine these two out. So that resets. And then we're ready to go again now. So now we just, fill it up. And go again. So that's it. That's the whole farm. And yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. It looks really cool when you activate it. So that's the main thing with this. So now we just got to decorate the entire room. All the farms are now functionally complete. We just need to make sure we have lighting above this area since it's a little bit dark in the center. So we might have like lanterns hanging from the ceiling or something. And then we just got to decorate this, make this look fancy. Make the canyon come in from the outside, put down some, dripstone and raw iron blocks and rooted dirt here. And that should be pretty much it. Very good. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say after a bunch of work, we got ourselves a Nether Fungi and Nylium Farm completed. So here is the pathway going into the place. So you can, if you're walking on the main pathway, you can like look in and just barely catch a glimpse of it right down there. And so you walk in this way, avoiding the pointed dripstone, and then kabam! Look at that. Explosion of color. Also, there's a shulker box I need to pick up here. There we go. Also, this bed should not be here, but there we go. Yeah, so you see, we went with sort of a theme that I'm a big fan of, the red on blue on purple theme. So, yeah, that's what we went with here. So, stripped crimson wood, stripped warp wood, and then purple concrete on the side. And then for the lighting, we hid, well, we didn't really hide it. We actually kind of like kept it a little bit, but we hid glowstone behind these trapdoors, which makes it look kind of like a sparkling vent, I guess, which, yeah, I think is kind of cool. So that's what we went with there. Obviously, around the mushroom farms, we went with some red glass and then the crimson wood, the planks here, and then sort of the opposite for the the warped one. So we got warped wood and cyan glass here. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Everything should be spawn proof. Of course, we also put down some signs. So lever state change activates Nylium Farm. We got the lever that changes from crimson to warped. We got that marked out. So up is crimson, which is why we have the crimson Nylium. And then down is the warped. So we got the warped Nylium. And you can hear it ever so slightly in the background if you change it there. For this area, we did the same thing. So yeah, again, the red on blue on purple theme, and then the same thing with the like hidden vents here, and then our netherrack input looks like this. So that's pretty awesome. And just one more time here, let's go ahead and activate the farm. Let's watch it go. Let's see. Let's do warp Nylium this time, since we did crimson last time. Oh yeah! Look at that! I love it. I love it so much. Magnificent. Magnificent. Okay, so this area is now completed, and I think what we'll do now is we'll get a bunch of crimson fungus and warped fungus. So we'll run both these farms at the same time, get these guys going, and yeah, hopefully take a bunch of warped and crimson fungus as well as some Nylium that we got here back to the spawn area for the Love Tropics event. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the swamp area, and we brought over a bunch of nether fungi. So we got 256 fungi we're putting in there, so that's great. And we're also going to get a bunch of Nylium so that we can plant those fungi on the Nylium, because you can't plant it on dirt or anything. And with that, I think this area is now ready. Should have most of the supplies we need. We might want to get a few more saplings from some of the other hermits and things, but for the most part, I think we are set. So again, just a reminder, this stream will start on Twitch, twitch.tv/cumfam135 at 3 o'clock Eastern Time on Saturday. So I hope to see you guys there, and hopefully Joe and I will be raising a bunch of money for Osa Conservation. So until then, guys, thanks so much for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye.